They're just sticking with the game balls, and it's so funny. Self being the one that is on the Ultron. Truly, this guy can do it all. As it was Zatex yesterday, Self today. Baser back on that role of Adam Warlock, and there is a bit of the stagger as Blur try to find the edge of extinction. Great first cap from Odyssey.
Soko popping off out here too, and Zatex is just going to be able to build into this legendary just as quick. Intergalactic now puts a dent to that ult economy just a bit, while Odyssey now have the advantage on the point, nearing that 25%, and trying to pull Intergalactic towards them, while Doom slams down onto the ground, and Flame keeps them alive with the fate of both worlds, but it's an elongated fight with Odyssey having the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have to use anything to survive that. I mean, that's crazy as they just continue to go with Zatex now. Legendary Soko to follow. This is an Odyssey team that is absolutely pissed that they have to be at this elimination stage to begin with, and we're seeing it right here and now. Somble did not get to play his symbiote last day 2. Well, he is feasting and doesn't even need the Abyss to do so. Resistance to try to even get this team some opening. Somble, just an absolute demon on Venom. We've seen this man do it time and time again. It's Venom on Venom. Symbiote on Symbiote. Noel's going to pick one to be the victor here as teams collide.
It's a face-off here, too. Look at this from each side before Blur just dives right there on top of the high ground where Odyssey want to sit. And Self start things off with the extermination. They were holding on to these ultimates, as you mentioned, Cozy, without having to waste too much in the invisible boundary. Now,
loads of work to go. Baser down and coming back. Somble continuing just to be a nuisance here, Vic.
And Soko was living for a really long time before Doomed finally finds Soko. We know how talented Doomed is, and with the Phoenix, it's finding these opening picks that they needed to finally get some momentum flowing in their direction, and I like their ult economy coming up next.
Yeah, as they now reset 75% to 10, 11, 12, and climbing. They've got some of what they need. They're close to Dell and Flame will be able to just bans, and they just don't care. I mean, they're like, okay, we'll play Adam, Ultron, and Jeff, right? I mean, just what a show we're seeing done here. Dogman now, Agamotto ready to go. 90% has got to land it, has the follow-up needed, has the strategist old Vic. You'd expect them to have some success here.
The Psionic Seduction, though, also gets slightly blocked before Hoffman can now activate that ultimate here with overtime now ticking away. Baser does have that Karmic Revival. You have to look for where Baser's at. Blur is forced to pop the shield from the Venom. Flame here can help reset the rest of Intergalactic because they need to recontest overtime here in favor for Odyssey. And Odyssey are playing split. Doom any of these strategist ultimates, they don't have the sustainability.
Nope, and coming right back around is going to be all the ults for Odyssey. This is going to be it for Intergalactic for this map. As yes, they can have a little sustain, but there's just too much firepower pressure from now the entire team, and just like that, they got the message. Vic, it's speed. I think we got, yeah, okay, he's gonna go with the Storm.
We got to see Intergalactic hold it down on that next choke, but with Zatex also being on that Moon Knight, the hand of Khonshu is loading up here just ever so shortly to break through this choke, and it works even better with Sombo's being on that Groot and setting up those walls to block them out.
I mean, Zatex almost certainly has to use the hand of Khonshu before Sombo's ready, because it is 100% to 50. Does he get there as the Born Again comes out from Hoffman? But Zatex is hunting now as the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger here now throwing the back line. He's cloaked, ready to go, and what an absolute demon here with the DPS boost to boot.
I'm not over the sound effects. It sounds so cool, and I love the follow-up, too, that we just saw right there as the Omega Hurricane comes out. But the Born Again from Hoffman, hiding in the dark, brings everybody from Intergalactic back. And look at the Psionic Seduction. We are going one by one, except for the Freedom Charge, as we follow from whatever we saw from that first fight into the Strangling Prison. Everybody is stuck in between this prison, but it's the Loki lamps that save everyone.
And Zatex fell, so they didn't get to do the combo. They were set up. The all-oop was there. He threw the ball, but the other guy was on the bench. Zatex, unfortunately, was not able to get the hand of Khonshu down.
And they have less than 30 seconds left on the clock to be able to get to that first checkpoint.
We saw this exact thing happen yesterday. We saw Odyssey dominantly win the first map and then kind of, got ahead of themselves. Let's see them slow it down here. You have 11 seconds left. You look dominant so far now. You've got the Self on the skies. Hurricane ready. Let's see if they can pull this off. Sombo, look for this combo.
Fidel's ready, though, with the invisible boundary, and it's used.
Okay, being the ticket to get them through this point one. It was looking all but lost here, as Intergalactic almost felt that 13% odds against them. I would like to see Odyssey clean things up. The combos were not there at all, Vic, and that's why they struggled on point one.
I agree. That's why you saw Zatex force to use that Hand of Khonshu just raw when that Wombo combo didn't work out, like we were talking about.
For only a minute, 15 seconds left, they have a mile to go. Odyssey is definitely playing from behind here, and they're going to have to figure out how to get these combos working now. Soko on the Strange, that Emma ban coming into importance now.
Comes in clutch when you get to get some more of these target bans. With Zatex having that ultimate online, they could go in for a follow-up Wombo combo opportunity, this time with Sambo being back, but now on that Venom. Soko falling low, though, cannot recover. Momentum was so close to that invisible boundary, and Intergalactic having Hoffman and the Adam Warlock gets the res up. Pop up your ult there, too. You feel like you're safe, even with the buffs, but it's too much damage output combined that with that Phoenix ultimate to go down. Less than 2 seconds now. Odyssey have to now stay on this point and cannot get off.
Dogman, can you hit this Agamotto? Let's see what we can get from it here. Not a lot of follow-up, going to just be pure power behind it. As you look, Blur's close to it too. They have what they need as the defensive stop, but guess who knows that itself? Going in with the melee cancels. 25% and climbing for the ultimate there. They've got plenty to respond. 2 strategist ults. Look for that sustain. We have a long fight incoming, folks.
Yeah, overtime now here as Soko's also with that Eye of Agamotto. Momentum has a survivability with that the Abyss. It's not enough. Overtime taken away, and Intergalactic Dogman specifically has held them back and forced out a stagger out of Odyssey.
Take that, 13%. I mean, what a showing. Now, obviously, have to do the same job here. Charging up and almost ready to go for the Wombo combo. If they're able to use that, that is going to be a huge momentum stopper. You got the walls in the right place. Blur playing lights out here as Groot, showing the tree can do more than just be silent. Doomed now. Dogman to follow. They didn't even have to use the comp.
After we saw Baser, so Intergalactic will have more sustainability getting closer to that first checkpoint, and they still have over 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, we've got Blur here with the imprisonment yet again. If you look over, Self does have that Agamotto coming up at any moment. We're miles away from strategist ults at this point, folks, so it's going to be nothing but the offensive approach of tanks and duelists. Now Zayt off, but they follow with it, and just like that, get point 1 with a lot of dominance. They have 3 minutes and 48 seconds. That is a lot of time compared to what Odyssey was working with.
I'm sure they just wanted to maybe swap out here because I was looking at the Eye of Agamotto and there was no follow-up potential anyways there. So they just get that out, and now Odyssey are looking to reset.
Going Eternal Bond out to give their team a path to victory here. Groot goes down, though. We're throwing down the imprisonment. Blur goes. Doom gets a follow on Self. Self now eliminated, but Baser able to get at least some damage over and trade duelist for duelist there. Zatex unable to get the connection and the elim he wanted from the Phoenix, but Fidel and Dogman capitalizing on it. And right now they're pushing all the way through this thing. Feasted just saw this from the upper bracket.
Galactic is going to lean onto that as we see Flame still hold split positioning to focus, have the focus from Intergalactic to split that up, as Fidel is the first one to go out. Soko is happy in their own playground, bringing everybody in close range in the lovely grasp of Emma Frost.
Yeah, glad to be back on Mother, right? Absolutely where he works best. Mother knows best, as the Green Tangled Tail has told us. Zatex on Peter, looking for more as he goes towards the backline. Dogman just trying to keep his team alive now, getting pressure from the back. Yeah, you know, Starlet has jetpack, so you got to throw him a bit more off than that. I almost think that was nearly worth a jump off. I mean, it's tough. It's always a tough call on where you are momentum-wise, but Soko found his way back, was able to get rid of Dogman as well because the focus was pushed back there, so just a rough call for the team. Zatex going legendary here. The visual boundary to match and the momentum to come with it. Doom throwing down the pressure. This is going to be their ticket to get in here. Minute 45. Not a lot of ults to last after this, but we have the trade in pools. It's Jaws v Jaws. It's strategist v strategist. Can they get them at least? They're just going to take this down as much. How throw them away from their team. As you see Intergalactic now closing in. Ensemble gets a trade though, Vic.
Way better case scenario though for Intergalactic, because Doomed is going uncontested in the sky. He is off.
Yeah, I was wondering when he was going to do that, right? When he was going to match that exact res, and it shows good patience there. Blur getting big hits, but doesn't matter as they all come back fully loaded now. Zatex and Baser can respond pretty quickly here, but it is going to be Blur that's throwing out the imprisonment. The show is forced to pop, which is perfect time there for the collapse. Now Zatex legendary up, Soulbound out, forces the invisible boundary. Great strategist out of this fight, but it's nice job from Doom realizing he's on the top. Seduction out here from Soko, gets a lot of them now and trying. Someone's got to capitalize on what is a 4-piece of seduction. Blur though, no, gets a trade instead.
Sambo not being able to get much done here too because of these group walls. It's a lot of damage pressure. Blur does get stunned ever so slightly though, but they have some now. Doom still finds self, but you have to imagine Zaytech now swapping over to Doctor Strange. It's just a portal to retouch here. He's been getting shut down constantly with that Star-Lord ultimate. Born again, the karmic revival from Hoffman though, as the final fight comes in overtime before they get to that next checkpoint.
Yeah, overtime is on the clock here. Hoffman can keep this team alive, but doesn't get a lot of value from revive standpoints here. But Doom trying to do it by...
With the pull-in on top of it, Dogman taking too much damage as Zaytex comes out with those swaps. Invisible Boundary called in, and now it's going to be the nice Groot hug instead to bring everybody together. Doomed is having a rave here right through Baser and that fate of both worlds. But before slamming all the way down here to get that reset, they have to deal with Doom, who's been a problem.
Absolute bowling job right now from Intergalactic. They're showing why Doom was the focus band. The man is absolutely on a tear here, on fire, as the God Phoenix now pushes down the point. They are one by one, Vic. I mean,
everyone together. Yes, they lost out on 3, but Fidel has the invisible boundary, and there's no support for Odyssey at this point. Zaytech slams down with the reset, and Self does not have another crack in the impact. He gets shut down by Blur.
Dude, armed to nothing. Like, what? What? And Blur with the absolute, the clutchest group there to finish things back. Great hits from Doom, though, keeping that sustained damage on them. Fighting through it, though, is both duelists. Doom matching them, though, stride for stride, Vicky. And right now, I would say slightly ult advantage for Odyssey.
Well, you've got to look at that invisible boundary from Fidel and how Fidel's going to be able to use that. Doom gets chokeslammed, and Dogman gets revenge onto Soko. The vanguards of Intergalactic right now are single-handedly terrorizing Odyssey.
This is incredible. We are seeing now a team win so far. Not anymore, at least for now. If you look at what they have available, they still have plenty, but they did use 2 important ones on that. Listen, Soko's got the seduction. They can combine that. There's a combo there. But Intergalactic has exactly what I would want if I'm on this team here to hold this thing down. May ready. I mean, the comms are going to be so important to land this thing perfectly. And it all starts now. Sambo to kick things off as the first Avenger.
There's so much that they have to push through, though, with Inter now, because this is how you know that this is serious. Self-swapping over to the Black Panther. Last-gen scenario, you have 30 seconds. You have the last fight case here between Odyssey and Intergalactic. Everything on the line before Odyssey may fall here in this final game.
Yeah, I mean, we'll hope that's a team decision, or if he's just trying to put the team on his back. He knows what he can do on the King of Wakanda, although nerf and a little bit different than what we saw in stage 1. Self going in for Doom, knowing got Groot doing his thing. At this point, Baser's got to go to Doctor Strange. You got to rotate out. They only have one strategist. Things are in shambles for a team that made it so far in the main stage. Doom, Blur with another. They hop in the point. It's 1 by 1. Intergalactic can feel it. They've made it. They have moved on against all odds.
The desperate tactic feasting off
like all